So you have an EV or thinking of getting one and are worried about driving it in the winter. Well, after having driven EVs for nearly a decade, let me shed some light on a few tips and tricks you can implement to at the very least minimize range loss and enhance your EV ownership during these colder times. I'll go over 6 points in this video. They aren't really ranked in any particular order of importance. One thing to note, not all tips will apply to all cars or even owners. Starting with the first one, parking your car inside if possible. Being sheltered from the cold air and wind will naturally keep your car's battery from getting colder as the day and night goes by. If you have an underground and or heated garage, that's an even bigger bonus. Keep your car plugged in. If you're able to, remember your ABCs. Always be charging. If you keep your car plugged in, it won't draw power from the car to heat up, but rather will draw from your house, place of work, or wherever you are plugged into. Be sure to warm up and precondition your car's battery. The first 3 tips go more or less hand in hand, and this one kind of ties them all in. It doesn't matter what your living situation is, be it if you park it inside, outside, anyone should be able to precondition their car. As I discussed in a previous video, linked below, having your car plugged in while parked inside is the best case scenario for cold climate EV ownership. Most EVs allow you to precondition your car from an app, a key fob, or having a scheduled departure time that you could set in your car. Having your car parked inside, as previously stated, will help you in doing so, but in situations like mine where you don't even have a canopy to cover your car, this is a great help. Driving with a preconditioned battery will help with your efficiency and is really noticeable, especially on longer drives. I found the best results when starting the heating system up around 30 minutes before departure. Inflate your tires. This seems to be one of the most overlooked aspects of EV ownership from what I've seen. Be sure to check your tire pressure regularly to maximize winter range, as you want your car to drive with as little road resistance as possible. Of note, if you have winter tires installed, which I certainly recommend if you live in my area, by default their tread design typically eats away at your range more than your summer tires would, so being on top of the air in them is in your best interest. Use your car's version of Eco Mode. The vast majority of EVs have some sort of Eco Mode, which increases range and reduces power consumption, typically by reducing the power sent to heating the cabin and the power output to the motors. Might not be as fun to drive in this mode, but you'll be able to drive further. Heat the person, not the cabin. This is probably the most extreme tip, and one I've only ever really had to use once, as highlighted in a previous video, also linked below.
On the highway, I was going 68. There were cars flying by me at like 120. I was going 68. I got honked, I got flashed, I got a few people like out the window like looking like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Should your car be equipped with heated seats and perhaps even a heated steering wheel, these systems run off your car's 12-volt battery and not the high-voltage battery. So in doing so, you're not taking away from the range of the vehicle to heat yourself up. Now, at the end of the day, I wouldn't want you to suffer while driving, so use this method only if you absolutely have to. EVs are such fun cars to drive.
Oh my God.
The last thing I'd want to do is sour that experience by freezing. That just about sums it up. As a side note, keep a sharp eye out for the state of charge and don't let it drop too low. You definitely want to give your car a little more buffer than you would typically in the summer. I've arrived at some places with less than 5% state of charge in the summer, not something I'd really want to do in the winter, at least of my own volition. Thanks for watching, folks. Be sure to check out my other videos if you'd like. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and let me know if I missed any winter driving tidbits. See you in the next one.